European Championship. It's been interesting European Championships up to this point. Some very good match day ones, but match day one matchups. But I want to do kind of my power rankings of teams at the European Championship through match day one. Uh, Based on the performances, I have to say number one has to be okay. Well, okay. I don't know if I want to base the power ranking. I'm gonna no. This is not power rankings actually. This is just based on who has impressed me the most through match day one. I'd say number one will be Germany. I thought Germany, what they did the host opening night, they were brilliant. They were amazing. Now you could argue they were allowed to be in how poorly Scotland was, allowing all that time and space for Tony Kroos to do whatever he wants in midfield, to the space that was brought by this ridiculous high line Scotland was playing with no pressure on the ball that allowed players in behind. But I was very very impressed and just how fluid Germany were, the one touch passing, the ability that they had, which I know existed, but they were never able to get it together. There were certain moments that they really struggled. They struggled against Ukraine. They kept 0-0, a Ukraine team that got shellacked by Romania yesterday. So yeah, I was very impressed with Germany and Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz, how they're able to work together. Both very good, technical, gifted players. Florian Wirtz, when you look at his capacity to run into the box and score a goal, Jamal Musiala, his ability to control the ball in tight space, be really, tidy. I've always thought he was a brilliant player. So yeah, I think Germany would be my number one team. I'm gonna say number two, Spain. Spain were very, very good in the game in terms of the fact that despite them conceding a lot of opportunities, they still defended very, very well and defended for their lives with the last-ditch tackles and closing off, not being very, very tight in front of goal. With the fact that Unai Simon, I thought he was very concerning in the game. That's my real major concern for Spain. But I was really impressed in how they're able to get outpossessed and still win. Spain always played this tiki-taka style of play, and they've always it's been that's what Spain has been. They want to pass the ball into the back of the net. But the Spain team, they showed that they could be clinical, which Spain teams previously have shown that they've never been clinical. They've never had that cutting edge. The Spanish team was very clinical, cutting edge. They took advantage of opportunities when they came. They weren't afraid to take risks and play balls in behind and all that. A lot of times with previous Spanish teams, they see a potential chance to play in a ball in the behind and to take a gamble, but instead they don't want to risk losing the ball and they just go and pass it side to side to retain possession. This Spanish team is a little bit different in the fact that they're willing to concede possession. They're willing to move the ball quickly up the field, to be direct, to use the verticality of players like Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams, and that was very impressive in my opinion. And it makes them deadly because they got proper football players in this team. This team has proper football players. They have the verticality, their ability to be direct. And they there's not really much holes in this team, so that makes them a concerning outfit for teams at this European Championship. For me, number three, I'll go with France. I think France is the best team in this. Yeah, but based on impressive performance. But yet again, I think it's a little harsh to have France at three because this is what we expect from France. Their ability to defend really, really well, to concede possession, to allow the other opportunity to have a few chances, but to just play in transition. And, they've never been a team to dominate a game and really make another team suffocate. They've always been let a team have the ball, let a team think that they're in the game, and when they don't expect it, quickly counter and get the goal and put the dagger in them. That's what they've always been under the Deschamps. So really, I think it's a little unfair to have them number three because we should expect these type of performances and we should applaud them for being able to continue on what they're able to do to execute their game plan. But again, there was teams that outperformed them in game match day one. They're not better teams than them, but I thought Germany were more dominant. I thought Spain were more dominant. But France still brilliant team. I'm gonna say number 4, Italy. I was quietly impressed with Italy in the fact that I did not see this coming in this European Championship. I thought once they went down a goal down early, I thought, wow, they could be in trouble. I didn't think there was much quality within the squad, but you saw Federico Chiesa. He came back to his form in terms. You saw nutmegs. You saw him getting past players. You saw him whipping in his curler of a shot. You saw the likes of Barella being clinical, taking advantage of opportunity. That response from conceding a goal early on, that next 25, 30 minutes, man, they really dominated that game. Jorginho getting the ball, really controlling possession of the game. The chances that they created through set pieces, through verticality, really controlling and dominating the midfield. Italy, very, very impressive in that game for me. My main concern with them is the few opportunities, especially late in that second half, that Albania decided to go direct. You saw those center backs, that inexperienced center back partnership, could have some, there could be some issues there. You could get in behind them and really make them pay. I really thought with that long ball, I forgot the name of the Albanian striker, but he had an opportunity at the end. Donnarumma ended up coming with the save, but that was one of the few actually chances that they gave him a chance on the long ball, and I think that's a concerning thing with Italy. That center back partnership, if they really get tested, but in terms from the midfield to attack, brilliant in my opinion. I'd say number 1, 2, 3. I'd say number 4, Switzerland. Switzerland were, there's a lot of people that thought Hungary was able to come in and get the result, because Hungary were looked at some sort of the dark horse, one of the potential dark horse at this European Championship. In Switzerland, they've always been that boring team that get results through just pure professionalism. They never really stand out. They never have an amazing performance where they really dominate a game and really play fluid attacking football. But we saw that from Hungary. They created so many opportunities, and they really, with the pace running in behind and controlling the midfield with Xhaka and stuff, they were played really, really well, and they played some quality football. And for me, very, very impressive. And yes, I have them losing to Scotland tomorrow, which is which is really disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie, it is disrespectful. But that Switzerland team really impressed me in the game. Kind of like how Italy impressed me with my lack of expectation for them. I thought I'd have to say the exact same thing for this Switzerland national team. I thought they played some fluid football, and I think that they're they have a legit chance of to make some sort of a run at this European Championship. I think that I have 5 in there. 1, 2. So I have Germany 1, Spain 2, France 3, Italy 4, Switzerland 5. Yeah. So some quick honorable mentions of teams that I didn't notice, that I didn't point out. Romania, they were really, really good. I thought they played really fantastically. They were very clinical, despite conceding much of possession. They really were clinical in the goals that they scored. Had some wonder goals and played some wonderful football too. Really controlled. Really played well in transition, and they played against a Ukraine team that individually probably has more players that are talented, or more players that we recognize as talented players. When you look at Dobvik, Mikhailo Mudryk, Zinchenko, those are some really good teams that really good players that this Ukrainian national team have. But again, they didn't show up. They didn't play to the sum of their parts, and they were really disappointed in that opening game. There is a lot of pressure put on the Ukraine with the situation going on in Ukraine, and it's kind of like the nation is on the Ukrainians' back, which is a little bit unfair. I'm not gonna lie. But Romania went in there and they played really phenomenally well. So hats off to Romania. Now, yes, I have not mentioned England. I've said my thoughts on England. They were not impressive at all. They were very, very alarming. The difference between England and France is that France, they've proven that they can win with the style of play. England have proven that they can't. I don't think England have the resilience to win in a pragmatic game the way that France does. And yeah, that midfield and how bad they look, that was going to be a big issue for them in this tournament. I think defensively, we know the issues that they have defensively, and the way that they were pushed back after scoring that goal is very alarming and shown that they're the same old England. And then Netherlands, I thought Netherlands, they were kind of slow. They struggled a lot in their opening game. They played against a Poland team that was really, that really fought hard, but they really struggled. And the fact that they needed Weghorst to come in off the bench to turn this game around kind of showed the story. No disrespect to Weghorst, but if you're relying on Weghorst, you're not going far in this tournament. And Memphis Depay, he's hit or miss, and when he's missed, that's what's gonna happen. And it was really bad in this game, especially in that first half. And he needs to turn around and be that talisman for the Netherlands if they want to win the European Championship. You got people talking about his headband. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna come for criticism when you don't show up, and he did not show up. So